This day 450 of Zohar Pshat and Daf Nun Gimel and Alf. We didn't make progress on this day because we talked about Yeshua and Et Yosha Nachash. But so we're basically the same place we were yesterday. The the uh, the 3, 6, 9, 10 lines to the bottom. But Yeshua Misa Obit Yosha Nachash showing down an account of the council or the pen of the snake. The Karev of Pogim Mashkar Kidkamesa. He who came and damaged the Mishkan, as it was in the previously. So damage the Mishkan is an interesting language. I assume it means that the Shechina was damaged. The Yoshua ben Nun, the youngster, did not deviate, not to leave the oil. The Avagabdi Unar Latato. Even though he's young and below relative to light, he didn't leave the oil. Kamadis pagim, despite the fact that it was damaged after the Chet Ego. And just like this is damage, I'm not sure what this is damage means. I think maybe it means the moon was damaged, so to the oil is damaged. I guess maybe means like just like oil is damaged, so to Yeshua is damaged. That's what it sounds like the next line. I've got designer Kadisha Avale, even though he had still the holy the Eddie. Came to Spagam Sierra, but he was see this talking about the moon also, so everything's getting damaged here. In other words, part and parcel of being part and parcel of the cloud is that when things are damaged, everything gets damaged. Again, Moshe Rabbeinu was in a unique situation. So it's interesting because I think the Zohar is being medayik. Yeshua ben we should talk oil, not the oil moed. Even though, of course, in Pshat, oil is the oil moed. But Moshe Rabbeinu was the oil moed mechutz hamachane. Yeshua was we should talk oil. Moshe Rabbeinu was above and beyond all these things. That's why his death came from another side. But Yeshua was the Torah oil, and the oil itself is damaged, meaning that the relationship of Am Yisrael, independent of Moshe, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu was damaged, and therefore Yeshua was inside that oil. When it's damaged and lower, he's a nar of Torah oil. He's on the damaged low level, of course. Yeshua was relative to us, is like the sun, but relative to to what it was before the Chet, and relative to what it would have happened had Am Yisrael not sinned, obviously he was on this damage level. He could not be saved on his own from this gavna. I think it means from this approach, from this problem, from this issue, which came into being now that they sinned at the Chet Ego. It seems like the Derech Emes puts in the words Ad Kan here. I guess it means it's the end of a topic. Tochaze, kegavna dog, kegon the chav adam. So, but it doesn't seem that way from the text. It says in similar fashion, when a person sins, any person sins, his weapons, his eddy. Everybody has an eddy, which goes away when they sin. As for the hearing kadishin, the letters of lights from above, the atli kuchabich which adorns him. And then people have a fear. In other words, a person like ilachash, mazlachash. The person doesn't necessarily know in a conscious way, but it's unconscious way. He knows that he lost his kedusha. They've been removed from him. And this is similar to what it says by Adam Chava, that they knew they were naked. So says it's not that they were not clothed beforehand. No, they're clothed beforehand too, but different type of clothes. Initially, they were clothed in those crowns which are precious. From the weapons which make them free of all skashmias, of all types of ra. And that, like Kesser, of course, symbolized on the head. Right, the Eddie in the Midbar was a chagura. It was a belt between the bottom and the top, and gartel. The Eddie of Adam Chava was a crown on the top to connect. So the Eddie in the Midbar was to separate, and this was to connect. It's a beautiful marshal. Came the chavu. Once they sin ispashtu minai, it was removed. Of course, then they got actual belts to cover the ever. They got the daham most of kailon. They knew that death befell them. And they knew that they had been left bereft of that freedom which they had beforehand. The garmu most of lanuchama. They caused death for themselves and the entire world. Okay, that's and then of course the Zohar going on nun dal nun is about v'yispra alei te'ena. Right, they got the fig leaves in order to cover their nakedness. Well, let's see if we can do this. We've already learned. It's interesting. The Nitutzi Aretz here says Remes te'ena le sishu acha shukmo toena, which is like a ki toena v'akshim, a plot. So ukmina the lifu kol zene charshim v'kusmin. They learned all sorts of sorcery and magic. Okay, evidently this came together with the chait. And now they became exposed to all sorts of klipos. And they became connected to them below. In other words, in the lower parts of Barak, Maditmar. From that point, other Rishon's great height, great stature, which was up to the Shemaim, was diminished. The come of the other me'amin, and now the height of other was only 100 amos. As Nitzuzo brings in Chagiga, Dafil Beis came to near Kashbaru love, Yodol love Miato. So as you come out, Masayim Amok, Geshtei Komish Adam Rishon. The other Rishon was 100 amos tall, but that was afterwards. In other words, he was still perfect in the sense that a human being could be perfect, 100 amos, but he wasn't from Shemayim B'Aretz. The Keser, which connected Shemayim B'Aretz, was removed from him, and he was exposed to all these klipos down here below. That's why there's a separation. Adam Medina. Now man is going to be judged in judgment. Ara, and the earth is cursed for Akimna, and this is something which we have explained. I assume that we could know explain much more, but this is the Alei Te'ena, where now there's no Keser, and they even had to fend off all the klipos from below. And that is the idea of the belt, which HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them at this point, similar to the belt, but not with the same milos of the Edi at Har Sinai. This one didn't. The Edi at Sinai was weaponry, had kedusha to it. This one evidently was just to try and keep the klipos away. Okay, we'll stop here for today.